Hi, my friends. I want to do a quick video here for you about how many times it's been attacked on the United States soil. Okay, this is amazing. This is just absolutely amazing. I actually did a video, had a real nice one, and it got destroyed. But anyway, let's move on. Let's move forward. All right. I don't know if it's Mandela effect or not, but I got ripped half of it. But anyway, so here's the amazing thing about this, is we know in our my old reality, in my own time, on my own Earth, that there were only two attacks on the United States soil. And one of them was Pearl Harbor, that we're all aware of. And the second one was, I'm trying to make sure this is recording because I don't want to have, so at the same time, first one was Pearl Harbor. The second one was the 9/11 incident, right? So anyway, so here's the thing is I want to show you. I'm trying to make sure this thing's recording me. Sorry to keep this. I do not want to do this recording that much again. Okay. Anyway, so here's I picked it up. This is amazing. We had over 5 here that talking attacks on U.S. soil, but we actually have more that's even listed on this, that in this current reality, in this current timeline. One was called the Dukansny or Spiring or whatever. Sorry, I can't pronounce that this morning because I'm a little tired. But yeah, that was one of them. You can read through this. I'm going to go through these quickly because you can look them up. I just want to bring attention to this more than provide a whole review of this. So anyway, it's a gang of guys who from Germany that go around and they sabotage, and they're trying to get to merchant ships, blah blah blah, and all these other things. So that's one. Now where that's really attack, well, I mean, they're here and they're doing some damage too. Number two, the bombing of Elwood oil field. Now this one's amazing. This is actually this never happened in my reality. Oh my gosh. Attacking said a this one goes on about these Japanese submarines come in and they bomb an oil field and all this other things. Are you kidding me? Because in my old reality, Japan never got closer than Pearl Harbor. It was actually hard for them to get there. Many reasons: gas, fuel, and also very protected in that the whole area to the United States of America. Okay, so that one is amazing. The bombing of Elwood of oil. This one's amazing. This one actually did a YouTube video on this previously about how this never existed, and in my reality. Okay, then the bombing of Fort Stevens on Lookout air raids. Oh, this one's interesting too. This one gets ready. After trailing American fishing vessels, they bypassed the minefield. Japanese submarine made its way to the mouth of the Columbia River and surfaced near Fort Stevens. Well, this one's amazing. I don't know if this is the one that Brian in his Mandela Effect channel and his stuff. Brian talked about that there was one that popped out of nowhere near his home town and stuff like that, in his home area. That there was a World War II incident there as well. I don't know, but this never existed too. I would have known about this one. And then let's see, we also got Operation Pastorius. Oh yes, this everybody knows about this. They taught you this in the history books, didn't they? And yeah, I mean, this is amazing. The largest invasion of American soil. This is the largest during World War II. Came in the form of 8 Nazi saboteurs sent to the United States in a doomed mission known as Operation blah blah blah. Well, anyway, goes on about U-boats and all these other things. So, and then the Japanese fire balloons. Now, this one's really interesting to me because the Japanese fire balloons, when in my old reality, that this is what's interesting about this one, that there was actually talk about balloons that came from Japan, but all the research in my old reality, my old history, they actually turned out to be weather balloons. I'm not kidding. It's kind of like the Roswell thing, because what would happen was they said that during World War II there was a bunch of balloons that landed out in the farmers' fields and stuff on the West Coast, near California and stuff like that, and up to Oregon and Washington, right? And somewhere in there, right? And there wasn't a lot of detail in this because they had to do a lot of research to try to find out what that happened, back later on, like in the 80s and 90s and stuff. Well, anyway, what was interesting about that is they said that that there was actually that there were weather balloons, that there wasn't actually, this one talks about actually being fire balloons, I mean, with bombs and stuff. And that was never discussed in history. They said there's weather balloons, and they didn't know which side actually would they belong to. For a while, they said it was actually the United States government trying to test some balloon patterns during World War II over the United States. And then they said, well, no, They said that it was actually the Japanese trying to study trade winds for a potential future operation, or trying to understand the airplane craft movement, how to get airplane, if they ever had attacked the United States, to have airplane movement into the United States of America. Well, anyway, so that was a story, but it was never balloon bombs like this. So the balloon bombs. I mean, it was never balloon bombs. It was always just the weather balloons, like I said. And then anything. So what is amazing about this, we have all the, and this one doesn't talk about, was it Black Tom? I think that's the name of the one, where we have, I'm actually still recording. Yeah, where Black Tom, where the Statue of Liberty was bombed. That's not even in this list of things, right? Seriously, that blew out windows in Manhattan. So we have a lot of attacks on the United States soil in World War II that never existed. So if you put that together in common sense, right? And this reality is so freaking messed up. It can't keep track of its own fragments, right? Because this reality is so defragmented now that in common sense, if you would have had all these things happening, we would have learned a lot more about school, saying, oh, you should have seen Japan almost got in there, boy. They were attacking, and they came in with the U-boats and over here, and they hit Columbia, and they blew up the Liberty, but we stood strong, right? And we were fighting, we're scared out of our minds, but we stayed there, and we were there. I mean, seriously, all these little, seriously, it would have been a lot bigger, about the attacks in the soil. There would have been a lot greater defense. I know any country would have put in stronger defenses when they have multiple sneak attacks like this. No mention about. I mean, there's some local areas they did say they increased their defense, but I'm telling you, it would have been a lot bigger, and all those defragments. I'm serious. It would have been a lot more of us knowing about this and anything like this. So anyway, I think I know what's going on with this. It has to do with, it sounds crazy, I'll explain more. It doesn't mean God and Lord and angels aren't real and all those other things. That we're having different timeline code merges, okay? Because as a software engineer, so I think I understand what is happening right now. That we're having to merge all these code lines, okay? And I'm going to do some YouTube videos about that, explaining more about how this is all merging and why God and Creator is actually letting and modifying and picking and choosing timelines to make a stable, what's called a baseline, or a baseline reality, or baseline stream of all these different timelines, right? So I will explain that more because I thought, man, boy, this really does sound kind of like a simulation or a software engineering program, the development of software, right? Well, that same thing, the development of software, it follows what you'd have to do to manage a reality as well, to make sure everything's coherent and like this. This is all positive things, by the way. You'd want somebody managing this, because otherwise you'd have absolute chaos in the universe and absolute chaos in our reality. I mean, it sounds like we are like, Kirk, it is chaos. We're about to lose our minds. That is true. That is true. But to get the finest and best results in anything in a software sense, or even a production of a book, a script, you would actually you would have a merging and fine tuning it, okay, to get to squash out and get all that chaos under control. So, all right, hope that makes sense. All right, so anyway, that's a quick one. God bless you and love you all. Take care.